All right, y'all. Welcome to the Wellness Playbook. I'm KG, aka Chris.
Mac, J Black, Jamal.
What's so funny, Jamal? J Black. So today we wanted to do a special episode. As we know, Mother's Day is coming up, and we know your mom is usually the first relationship that you have in your life, and it's instrumental in building the bonds when it comes to your experience with women and a lot of your attachment styles and things that you grow up with. So how y'all feeling about this episode? What's your thoughts overall?
Now I'm glad to do it because I've we covered the manosphere, we covered a lot of things of toxic masculinity, we covered relationships, ourselves. This is perfect because it's Mother's Day in 2 weeks, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. What about you?
I'm looking forward to talking about this topic, just to cover.
You, bro,
I was like, I can't hear you. What's
I'm not trying to be a loud, ignorant black young man.
Hey, wow. Yeah, you ain't got
a cancer.
You trying
I had to.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, I'm very interested in this topic, talking about the dynamics and how you view the world. It starts with not just your mother, but just your parenthood in general. It starts there. So
yeah, and it's an important conversation. Especially we have unique situations with our mothers, but we also have unique situations with our fathers. And a lot of our mothers had to take up a lot of the additional load because of the situation of ours. So, y'all might have experienced some of these things, and a lot of the things that you're doing now, you might not understand where it's coming from. So as we unpack this conversation, you might learn some stuff about yourself, and at the same time, you're gonna learn some stuff about us. So it's a really, really good conversation. So we're gonna start off with vital or viral. And in this clip, we're gonna have this Denzel Washington playing this episode. I think it was a TV show. I don't know what it was necessarily. It was a TV show.
It was a talk show.
It was a talk show.
Yeah,
it was
a Colbert show or something.
Nice. And he's just having a discussion about his mom. So we're gonna play this video and we're gonna react to it then.
A mother is a son's first true love. A son, especially that first son, is a mother's last true love. I'm getting choked up.
All right, so what is some of y'all take on the video? What do you think, Jamal?
I think it's definitely true for me.
Mm-hmm.
In my life with my mom, I could see it from since I was a child, especially in Guyana, when I was the only person she kind of had. And I remember when I got in this really bad car accident, bro. My mom doesn't show a lot of emotions. The way she reacted, because the cops was on the phone, I was in the hospital, the call, she was just so frightened. I never saw her like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just she was so terrified that something happened to me. She had to leave all the way upstate and come down to find me. But that for me, let me know, as much as she doesn't say a lot, that holy crap, my mom cares about me a lot, because she's Caribbean. The only way I show you I love you is I beat you. I'm joking about my know you watching.
I'm damn, you supposed to mom. Mom damn, what the hell is that?
What is he put me for?
What I do? What about you, MacKenzie?
I would say what Denzel said is definitely true. In my mom's own words, I may be her only son, but I would be her second son. But I'm probably the one that she gravitated towards the most, because I'm the one that really came out of her pause, and I'm the one that she had to raise from start to finish. I'm the one that I lived with my mom for my whole life, and just our dynamic and basically being the 1-2 punch of our house. Because early on, I had to help my mom with things that as a little kid, I had no business helping her with. You know what I'm saying? You 5 years old trying to carry a grocery bag as hard as you can up 4 flights of steps.
That's the one thing about y'all apartment. I can't remember what it was. Me and Dwayne had to help y'all move or something.
No, it was my room.
Yo, oh my gosh, there's no elevator, bro.
Her and I shared a room. So she needed y'all help.
Bro, we had to carry them shits up 4 flights of stairs, man. This shit's wild, bro. But nah, definitely. You got anything else to add, or you?
Yeah, I would just say, that mother-son bond is something else. because I don't know what it is, and there's maybe a science behind it, but usually like parents gravitate more towards a child that's of the opposite gender.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it especially with a mother-son relationship, a father-daughter relationship.
Exactly. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have like a lot of the development and a lot of that time that we went through development, we spend it a lot with our moms.
Mm-hmm.
And my situation is a little unique. If y'all don't know, my mom is in a completely different country. She's in Trinidad, but the one thing that I could say that she taught me a lot was the power and really, expressing the word love. Especially as a boy and growing up, you probably don't hear it enough and you don't use it enough and you don't know how to properly use it.
Yeah.
And she taught me a lot when it came to like how to effectively use that word. And she made sure she used it a lot. And, with that dynamic, she always showed me love regardless of how long we haven't spoke, regardless of how far we was. So even though she wasn't here through my development, she still played a big part of my development. And I got to thank you for that, Mom. All right, y'all, we're back and we're going to go into 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 is the first play in the drive. And obviously, as it's Mother's Day, we're going to talk about the connection you have with your mom. So as kind of what Denzel said and what we want to discuss, that's usually the first woman and person you have a relationship, and you develop a lot of patterns and styles based off of that relationship. So I want to ask y'all a simple question, and we might as well call it like 2 because it kind of is 2. If you had to describe your mom in one word, what word would you use? And how did she express love to you? And not in the word, but in the actions. You want to go first, MacKenzie?
I could go first. Like, a lot of people try to use the word love or caring. Me, the word I would use to attribute to my mom would be a teacher. Because like my first teacher in life was my mom. Like a lot of the things that I learned, especially very early on in my development, was from my mom. Like my self-reliance and how much I value it, I learned that from her. The way how I interact with people, the way how I talk to people, the way how I show respect to people, I learned that from her. My work ethic, everything, all of that, I learned that from her. So typically a lot of the times, like your mom, or even anybody around you, they're gonna be your first teachers before you even set foot in a school. Mm-hmm. That's what I would attribute to my mom especially. And like the one way how she showed me love was just like randomly. And like sometimes it'd be a random school night. I'm sitting down doing homework after like pre-K and she's be like, "I love you, MacKenzie." Like just randomly. And like later on in life, I asked her about it and I was just like, how come you, because she still does it today, but I asked her, I was like, how come you did that? And she was like, when I was growing up, I realized with our family, we didn't really do that. Mm-hmm. She brought that conversation up with them and she realized that she wanted me to have that differently. Mm-hmm. So
that's good though. That's good. And like that ties right in what we talked about with that word. And I think especially in the Black community, and growing up with a lot of the issues that we grow up with, I think that word love can be a very powerful word. So
it definitely is. I'm gonna tell a story about when the first time my mom told me that. The first time I ever heard my mom said I love you was wild.
I don't even know what that means now.
Thursday, cars getting dropped off. I know she can hear this. I'm so mad, man. She's like, "Jamal, I love you. I love you so much." I was like, damn, first time. I'm like, my mom never said this. I'm like, what, 18, 19? She goes, yeah. Don't talk to any white women.
Oh, bruh. Up in Alfred, New York?
Yeah. She saw, she's like, no, do not. So they scared me. I was like, oh my God. I just want you to be okay and safe. Lo and behold, I'm joking. No. Back to the question. No.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Anyway, the word that first comes to mind to describe my mom is always kind. Like, Like my mom, bro, like even guy, like people used to, like my grandma used to always say, "Oh, your mama just take the clothes off her back and give it to a stranger." Like, what's wrong with her? I was like, that's not bad. That is not bad. Like that's such. My mom is just kind to a fault. Like she always was. She's kind to every stranger, any person. I mean, she was very, very religious and very pious. So like she believes like very much in like the religious principles of kindness, sharing, helping others, just because she thought it was right. Like the one thing I learned from her a lot is kindness and integrity. Like my mom, just that's what she modeled so well, and to a fault. Like she deserves a lot more, I think, in life and everything she gets, and that's why I work a lot hard to try to give it to her. But that's what I learned from her, man. That's the way I used to describe her, just kind. She's always kind. Even when she was giving you a whooping, she was kind about it. I'm gonna teach you why, I'm gonna whoop you though. Nah, I'll use that. That was a roller coaster.
Yeah, I wasn't. From when we started to when we ended, I wasn't sure where we were going.
Yeah, no, my bad. Holy shit.
Hey, this is what makes it different from a podcast than a news network, man. This is unfiltered, real conversations. We ain't got no damn sponsorships to worry about and all that stuff. We ain't controlled by any private groups.
Not yet.
I'm not saying anything.
Whoa. I mean sponsorships, not the groups.
Oh, that's for me, I like the word service, and what I mean by that, so I like to flip-flop between this topic between two people. I like this flip-flop between my grandmother, because obviously she spent most of the time raising me and my mom. So I'm gonna give it like both of them their grace, because it's hard to like say one over the other, because both of them did an amazing job. And from my grandma, like when I sit back and I look at her just life and experience, she went from raising all these kids, helping people come to the US, helping make sure people was good, and then turned around and raised those people kids, and it was instrumental in like the development and like supportive about like whether it's me, whether it's MacKenzie, whether it's Tia, Kayla, Anthony, like it's like she dedicated her whole life raising other people, raising kids, you know? And she obviously she let us know it sometimes, right? But she never complained. Like she showed up for us regardless of how she was feeling, regardless of how much she had to do, regardless of how work was. She always showed up. She always gave us and whatever she had. So, and I think that translates a lot into me, where I'm big on acts of service. And I relate into giving people as much as I can to help them to make sure they're good, because I saw my grandma do the same thing. So that ties into my answer on my first and my second one. How she showed love without actually saying it was just like showing up even when she didn't need to, and filling up the slack whenever something fell off. She made sure I was good. She cared, and she made sure to show it every day, regardless of how she was feeling.
I always just remember the grandma reaction to me every time I speak,
because nobody understands between him and my dad. No one understands what y'all saying. Like it's the same thing. You're like, yo, grandma's always hilarious. She's like, whoa, what are you saying? What are you saying right now, bro?
She listened to the whole statement. What? She's so kind. Listen to the whole statement. Let me finish and go. I don't know what you said.
That sounds like it.
Yo, grandma's hilarious. Bro.
Yo, one time this Jamaican guy was fixing something in the bathroom.
Oh no.
And then he said something to her, and then she turns to me, she goes, Kenny, can you translate for me? Yo,
for real.
That's where it comes from. I think like a lot of that comes into part of your personality too. When you interact with people socially, like you pick it up, because I know I do shit. Yo. Yeah, sorry.
Nah, you're good. And like to piggyback off of a lot of these discussions, because it seems like our mom had a lot of an impact in our lives. Was there a part that you feel that she had to sacrifice for the betterment of you, or for your growth, or for your experience? Start this one. Yeah, we're having deep questions, man. We're trying to unpack a lot of stuff. This is therapy for you and for us.
Can't say that, but okay.
Oh, well.
I mean, I think motherhood fatherhood, but mostly motherhood. I think you have to think even just carrying a child to term is a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice.
You know, I had to do an experiment once where I had to pretend to like have a baby, but also you had to strap it as a kid too, and that shit was, I would never do that.
You had to pretend you had a baby?
Yeah, they had to put like this thing on your stomach, and then after that,
the thing.
it's a simulation too.
Oh yeah.
And yo, I can't imagine doing that for 3-4 months, bro. Much as 9.
9 as well.
And then, so like, I think it's a constant, like, fatherhood is going to be a sacrifice, but I think motherhood's a different level of sacrifice. And I wouldn't say my mom sacrificed her career because she always loved kids. She worked in the school. She's obsessed with teaching in a level I've never seen from anyone, and I work in education. Like, my mom did her educational credentials 3 times. Twice in Guyana because she had to do her bachelor's, and then she had to also go to Syrup out of teaching school. She came to America, they told her, these credentials don't matter. You have to go do it again. She had to go do her master's and bachelor's again, just to fucking teach. And she still did it. She didn't complain, she wasn't upset. She just enjoys community, she enjoys education. I've never seen anything like it. And so like, I wouldn't even say she sacrificed her career, but I think she sacrificed her happiness. Trying to keep the family together, trying to provide and do a lot of jobs she shouldn't have been doing. So yeah, it's a little tough, you know.
Yeah. What about you, MacKenzie?
Man, where do I even start? Like, bruh, I like with my mom sacrificed so goddamn much, bro. It's like it'd be a laundry list. I think like the biggest thing I could say she sacrificed was like definitely her time. She sacrificed like all of that, like especially at a young age. One of the things that she told about recently when she talks about her sacrifice was the fact that she sacrificed her dating life to raise me, because she was so, like, one of the things she didn't want was to date a man who would eventually be a stepfather to me, and they would influence me in the wrong way. So she sacrificed her entire dating life just to make sure I got the right influences and the proper influences and had the proper upbringing. She sacrificed her time. Like all of her, a majority of her time was dedicated towards me and helping me. Like it's like there's probably some more stuff she sacrificed that I probably don't even got there. You know, so and it's like now she finally gets to travel. Because when I was a kid, she couldn't travel. She couldn't go out and do things. She couldn't go out and have fun at night that often. Like now she finally gets to do it because, you know, I'm an adult now, but man,
she outside now, huh?
Yo, bro,
she travel more than me, man.
Yo, bro. Sometimes she'll be out at night, and I'm like, hold on, you got work in the morning, like you out right now, like come on.
Yeah,
you out way past your bedtime. I don't know what it is, but like as a son, like sometimes the roles flip. You know, your parents be worried about your curfew when you young, and then when you get older. And your mama is home by a certain time. You like, hold on, where the fuck she at? You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be 9 o'clock. You like, what the fuck?
That's conserve.
Yeah, for real. I'm gonna flip again too. I'm gonna go to my mom now on this one, and I can't even imagine just like the experience of someone to give birth to a child, have them for 2 years, and then have them go all the way to another country. And then you have to watch them grow up. You have to not really be a part of their development, seeing the phases going on, but still being involved and being attached. Because it's so easy to be like, oh, he's over there, I have another child, I'm gonna focus on this. She made sure and made an effort to be a part of my life as much as she could. And I couldn't imagine just like having a child so far away, being involved in the child's life. It's not like it's someone that like, oh, this child don't want to talk to me anymore or anything. It's being involved, and then this person's so far away. And then a little story, my sister passed away, and then she's like, oh, this is my only child, and he is so far away. And like everything started to reflect back into like how much she's missed in my development, but also like strengthen our bond into our relationship because she understood the importance of each day and each moment. So
I got a question for both of y'all. Well, probably for myself too. No, given what we just described, especially, it sounds like all of our moms were single moms.
Yeah.
In terms of like, does this change your perspective in dating and how you see single mothers as you approach dating as well too? And does it make you more open to doing that, or do you still feel like, especially when you said your mom wanted a proper male figure?
Mm-hmm.
So does that change your perspective when you look at women in terms of single mothers and dating or not?
The way how I see it, like a lot of the times, and it's only natural. I feel like a lot of single mothers, excuse me.
Hey?
Bless you.
Bless you.
I feel like a lot of single mothers obviously want a positive male influence for their child. That's something that's gonna come to them naturally, because like if you birth a child, the father's not that much involved or is involved to some certain capacity, and then you're dating somebody, and they're gonna be around you, you obviously gonna want somebody who's gonna be a positive influence. So if you are a quote unquote dickhead and you date a single mom, you're gonna be somewhat involved in that kid's life. And the kid might turn out a dickhead because you're gonna be an influence in that kid's life, whether you like it or not, because you're gonna be around.
No, but like, does that perspective make you more likely want to do that, or makes you like less want to engage in dating single mothers? Because like that seems like a lot of abnormal pressure for just anyone in the dating situation.
Anyone, yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility. Like, do you want to enter a situation you just want to be a father or a father figure?
At my age right now, no. But like when I get older, I'd be open to it. Like right now at this age, no. Like I'm young, but
we should be honest.
Because at this age, I'm young to be doing anything at this fucking point except like a few things. But like to do that and have that much responsibility when, you know, there's certain things I gotta figure out myself before I even do that. But like if I'm like, by the time I'm like 30, I'll probably be open to it. 35.
Yeah.
I could drop off that unk wisdom, you know?
You said unk wisdom.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. What the hell? Yo, I can't. What he said was actually a good point on like what combining what both of y'all said. So for me, experiencing that, and then when I was younger, I stayed away. I stayed far away. As soon as I heard any woman was like that I was potentially dating, had kids or a kid, I was like, I'm not even going to try to engage, because I understood the amount of responsibility that if you do engage, how much you get involved, especially if the person likes you. And I didn't want that responsibility in myself. It wasn't until I got older where recently, now that I've been more open to dating single moms, I think it's better now because where I am mentally, I understand how to navigate those situations. I think when I was younger, I didn't understand how to navigate, and I didn't want to put myself in the middle of a situation where I'm end up responsibility for two different things at the same time. Even if you're not directly in that kid's life, if the kids see you, you are an influence, especially if it's a kid. Mm-hmm. So as a younger, I ran away from it. Just kind of like how he said he's young and he doesn't want that responsibility. And then as I've gotten older, I've been able to start to accept it. What about you? Hey, you're laughing. What are you laughing about?
No, I've always been open to it. I've tried it. It's never been good.
Oh shit.
Well, damn.
No, not in that kind of way.
But do you think you're open to it more now or less?
I think I'm pretty much the same. It will always depend on the character of the person I'm trying to date. Mm-hmm. No matter what situation I go into, like I can deal with a lot of circumstances around it, but if the girl I'm trying to date, I don't like her character very well. Like it doesn't matter, because like what does it matter if the kid? Because if your character isn't good, and I have to like you enough to like to like what comes with you. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of single mothers who go into dating initiate that first. It's just sometimes what I got a lot of, like, especially why I've dated so many single mothers a lot, is that I work in education, meet them a lot. You know a lot about education, you end up helping, but like that attraction is solely based in relationship with their child, and it's very uncomfortable. It's an attachment more than it is, and I don't mind being a role model mentor. I actually enjoy it. That's why it's my job is around that, it's single. But like, I think there's a compartmentalization of your life that needs to separate, which meaning like I need to separate this part of my life from this part of my life. Romance should be different from politics. It should be different from my profession. And I try to do that. But like, it's hard to date like single mothers sometimes. It's finding time.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
especially if
extra
you
work.
don't have it.
Yeah, it's extra work. I got a quick story before we go on to the next section. You was there. Remember, I was dating this young lady. She was a single mom. First time I met her, remember what she did? I was dating this single mom. Right? First day I meet her. She sees me. I think I met her on Hinge or something like that. First time she sees me, she's like, oh. Calls her son, like, say hi. I was like, what the hell? I just met her. Yes, but I just met her. And I'm staring at this little 1-year-old now, and I'm like, what in the world is going on, bro?
At a game night.
Bro, within the first minute, I was like, oh,
say hi to your new stepdaddy.
That, pretty much. Get used to this face. Like, nah, whoa. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. Oh my God, that was hilarious. All right, now it's time for third down. This is not a gang sign. This is third down.
No gang signs, fellas.
No gang signs there.
This is.
That look like it. All right. Before I even get into this one, tell us about a specific moment of your mom that you can remember that really solidified your relationship with her. Seems like it's a very tense question.
I want to take a little funny route. Oh man, because I think this ties in with a lot of stuff that happened before, and I'm gonna go with grandma's situation. Shit. So it's a funny thing. Elementary school, KG was not the best. I will just say that first and foremost. So I had a bad reputation at this time, but so I'm sitting in this class, right, and there's this problematic girl that's next to me, right? And no one liked her. She always started stuff, always was an issue, right? And I'm sitting down, this desk next to each other. My pen rolls over to her desk. She takes it, she slams it on my desk. She's like, keep your pen over on your desk. I'm like, God damn, what the hell? We're in the middle of class. I'm like, this is kind of wild. I'm like, Then she scribbles the pen all over my desk. I'm like, that's a little abrasive. My pen rolled over to your desk. I was like, petty me. I took it, scribbled back on her desk. So we're there doing this shit. Then she gets upset. She takes the pen, stabs me in my freaking thigh with the pen. Right?
No.
Stabs me multiple times, then takes it, tries to slash my neck. Bro, I took her, I threw her onto the table, right? So in the situation, remember, this is in the middle of class. So no one knows what's going on until I picked her up and threw her. And then you just see me do that. And so the teacher that was there at the time, and anyone who went to elementary school at the time, you know how they always talk about the teachers nowadays are not the same as the teachers before? Like, it was like, this is the teacher that would fit in fine with the current period of time. Everybody had a crush on Miss M. Miss M was bad, bro. She was bad. Everyone knows Miss M. I didn't know where was going. Miss M was bad. So all this is happening. Usually, most of the time, when people see conflict between a man and a woman, they always generally say, "What do you do as a guy? Why are you doing this?" And like, especially if it gets into like that type of level, especially kids. Miss M was amazing. She was like, because she was talking, oh, he just started attacking me out of nowhere. She's like, why is there a bunch of pen marks on his neck? And so she was like, no, I'm gonna assess the situation. Even though I saw that, I don't think he would just randomly just start doing that. What happened? So I still got in trouble, obviously. I came home that day. I told my grandma the story and the situation that happened, and she saw on my leg, this whole spot was blue. Like it started to, I don't know if I was getting infected. I don't know if it was bruised.
As the ink.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, it was? I don't know.
Oh shit, sorry, I was joking.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. I got stabbed with a pen. She was like, nah, this is not okay. She took pictures. She was like, I'm gonna come down to the school. Like, I don't care, like what's going on. Don't ever let nobody ever play with you, nothing like that. And so like, it felt good to be supported in a situation where I was already painted as a victim. So like having that experience, because grandma could be a little tough at times, but to see how supportive she was in a situation that she wasn't in, like really solidified like, oh, she's really, really on my side. And this was elementary school, so I was pretty young. So wild story with a good ending.
But I think I like what you said a lot, like support even in a situation where you can be wrong, but you also need support either way.
Yeah.
I feel like I see this a lot today where there's so much context that's missing from situations that we should probably be patient and understand. And I know sometimes it looks dicey, but there's a lack of, like I always say, sensitivity. So,
you got to watch that, as you say, what do you say? Sensitivity, what they say, you're a coward.
Yeah. It's like, what do y'all want, bro?
Yeah, I can't, bro. I can't.
No, but great story though. What about you, man?
For me,
it looks heavy for you, huh?
yo, bro.
Nigga, the pollen killing me. It's pollen.
So, for me, I would say like, with my mom, a story for me, I would definitely say it was back when I was in elementary school and I had gotten in trouble in 2nd grade. Wild fucking story. But in 2nd grade, I got in trouble because I had choked another student, a girl. And I remember coming home that day and just, my mom was justifiably so livid. Like she was going off, like she was going ballistic. She took my toy box, she slammed it at the front door.
Damn.
She took my DS, she slammed it on the toy box.
Damn.
She was storming up and down. She was walking back, like, she was basically managing her emotions, then making sure I was writing down my apology properly. If I had an error, she's like, already stop, that's not how you spell that word.
Yeah.
Then she going back, she grabbing all my tools and things, slamming them at the front door. And then after all of that, she's like, son, I love you, but I'm not raising no woman beater. And like, since that day, I have never, ever laid hands on a woman that wasn't consensual.
Oh, whoa.
It wasn't what?
Consensual.
Whoa. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that. I still noticed man as a little kid. Here with the center. I was about to go 16. Anyway. What?
Yeah, that is.
It has to be when you do that.
Yes.
For me, I have so many moments with my mom, like, because she's just such a teacher. Like every part of her life, she's gonna teach it. But for like a good last couple years of my life, we had a tense relationship. Up until like about 2-3 years ago, we talked a lot about fixing it. And I just remember this one moment, like, I was just in such a bad place, bro. Like, you know what it was. I was like, I was about to do something bad because I was just so hurt by someone close to me and something she did to me. And my mom just saw me in the car. I was like breaking down, bro, because I was furious because I was betrayed really badly. My mom is just like, you have to forgive. Just forgive and let go. This is not how you deal with things. And I listened. I just had to, because my mom just, I don't know, she's not very good at dealing with me when I'm tense. But that day, I think she saw how hurt I was. And she always like made jokes about how like, I had to talk to her all the time. She's always like, did you cheat on her? I'm like, Mom, I didn't do that. And like, I had to really sit with her one day too. And I'm like, Mom, I seen what that did to you. I would never do it to someone else. It's just not there. And my mom never made that joke again. She never made that joke. That same day, she just told me like, listen, you have to forgive. Love is the only way. These people didn't deserve it. And let it go. And like, I've never seen my mom that way in terms of being interpersonal and just listening, even though that's what she does all her life. But when it comes to a lot of my social experiences, she's been very insensitive. But like, that day, I think she saw that, okay, I see what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was dope for her to see. And I just loved it. I'm like, I just would never want to do something to make my mom proud or shame her at all. So I'm happy like she was able to talk and reach me that way, because like I was about to do something bad to shame the devil. My God. How has the relationship with your mother affected your romantic relationships as well too? Does it cause any triggers? Does it cause you to show up a certain way? How did that affect you? I mean, even your perspective on dating? Like,
for me, I would say like in terms of dating, and what I've realized is that I respect independent women like way more, and like I gravitate towards independent women and women who are like very self-reliant. And I think that comes from like growing up, not just watching my mother, but grandma, like all of the women in my life being self-reliant and being independent. And I think that's what I gravitate towards because of that. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, and one thing I noticed about myself, I don't like being associated with or dealing with people who are spoiled brats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, respectfully, I just don't. Because it's like,
fuck you.
I say that.
but like, I just don't. Like, I respect people who work hard and are self-reliant, don't need to depend on nobody. Like that, like, when I see a woman like that, it's I turn into
Bruce Banner?
Nah.
Bruce Banner?
Nah, I'm trying to make an analogy of an R&B singer, but one that ain't abusive.
Oh my God.
God damn.
I was gonna say Chris Brown, but nah.
I was gonna say maybe Usher.
Wait,
Nah.
that's a little abusive.
He's abusive?
I mean, he's running her business.
You whispering with a mic, it don't work that Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
You gotta go to like 90s R&B, man.
Mario, and then nothing. Neo, and then
Boys to Men, all of them, like, yeah, damn, these R&B guys are
God,
terrible, bro.
everyone has been
Yeah, what analogy, bro?
I was like,
Yeah.
R. Kelly.
You know what? I
R.
turned
Kelly, bro.
Yo, we dissect from motherhood all together.
I know, this is ridiculous, bro.
but basically, like, my relationship with my mom,
certified lover boy. You know, you just turn into a lover boy.
he's allegedly abusive.
Whoa.
Who?
Allegedly.
Who?
The certified lover boy.
Oh, Drake.
Oh, really?
Allegedly.
I don't even know at this point, man.
I mean, you saw a video what he did, though. That's the thing. I don't care what no one says. Even though
Which video?
one with the 17-year-old.
Oh,
That
little
was
kid.
wild.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's automatic for me, bro.
For me, it was his acting scene. It looked like he was too comfortable with that.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that looked a little wild. His eyes, it was like, wait, that shit looked wild.
Anyway, that's the question, guys. What the fuck are we talking about, man?
We didn't say anybody's name. Oh,
Yes, we did.
We did.
Hey, you know the motherfucker likes to sue. But what about you, man? Like, how does your mom's relationship with mom affect romantic relationships?
So I would say my mom and my grandma, and it's been multiple different ways, and different ways I've realized it. One, so with my mom, it's always been like, if you're a good person, you go do good things. I don't think people should worry about the amount of communication you have with them. Like, there's certain people that want you to talk to them like every hour, every day. You know, like, yo, why don't you send a good morning text, good afternoon text, good evening text, how's your day, all that stuff. And I've learned to love so many people without having to give so much of communication that it's affected how I've dated in the beginning. But now I've learned to compromise and meet people in the middle, because there's people now that when I first date them, some of the questions I ask is, what is your preferred method of communication? Some people like video chatting, some people like text, some people like call. They'll be like, look, we don't got to text all day. If we do a call once a week or whatever, checking on each other, I'm fine with that. Some people like a text throughout the day, yo, just checking in, make sure you're fine. Before, I didn't do none of that shit.
What is your preferred method of communication?
But it's something that, you know, they like it. They like it that they ask that question, because people assume without actually really knowing. And I think I had to, because I always used to assume. And I came from that connection. And from my grandma, it came up like acts of service. I always was like, I'm going to show you I love you more than I say it.
Yeah.
I never used to say it to women a lot, but I always showed it. You know, and that's what I learned throughout growing up. And yeah, that was a lot of it that I learned. And then obviously, you know, a lot of women like words of affirmation. They like that confirmation with the action as well. So that's another thing that I had to unpack too.
That's what I was going to say. How that seemed like it would create a perspective where you might not be seeing the individual in front of you because you believe showing love is not the, because some people require you to
Of
say
course. Oh yeah.
So did that affect you negatively or not?
In the beginning, yeah. The thing is, like, once you date a certain amount of time, you hear a lot of the same complaints or issues, and then you have the decision to either get better or stay the same. And I think that's what I always say. Dating, I think, is part of dating is learning more about yourself and learning how you can grow. What are some of your weaknesses? What are some things you're good at? And if you're hearing the same negative feedback over and over, I think it's your job to be like, where's this coming from? And how can I assess and get better at this? Your eyes bright as hell open, bro.
I know.
I'm looking over here.
I know.
I'm like, what the?
No, because
Did that touch home?
Yeah. Whoa.
I said home. I said home.
No, because you keep saying that same thing. You said, like, you keep getting the same feedback, bro. I keep getting the same thing over and over, that how I show up in a certain way, especially with frustration.
Do you think that come from your mom, or what do you think that come from?
Definitely my mom. Yeah, my mom reacts a certain way with frustration, and I do the same thing. And because my mom is one of those kind of like those silent speakers, and it's something I did all the time. Or she would smile or laugh when she's angry. I would never know. She just starts laughing. Like,
oh, it's like in them Nigerian movies. But
no, not like that. No.
Nigerian movies.
That one's evil. I'm sorry.
I am going to destroy.
That's what Aretha is influenced. Damn.
Oh my God.
She loved the African movies.
Grandma too.
I used to know. But no. Like, I don't know, man. It definitely did. Like, for me, what I find interesting in people's professions and the way they treat other people, I directly got from my mom. She set the standard so high that it's impossible for me to look at certain women and try to even date them, because it's like, I don't want to bring someone home to my mom that my mom does not like. And I've also seen what my mom likes a lot. And there's this thing I learned from dating, it's called micro attractions. It's these small things that attract you to certain people. And it's always a lot to me is how kind someone is to others and strangers. The one person my mom always remembers is my ex, and I always remember why she likes her is because of those simple things. They're very similar people. They're very similar people in terms of how they treat others and how thoughtful they are. So it definitely does, and I think in a good way. I don't think it's an unhealthy way at all. I think she set an amazing standard, something I try to do for my siblings too. It's like, make sure as a man, I set a certain standard that they can look up to, like my sister or even my brother, in terms of like how he should be as a person to interact with others. But my mom did that for me. My mom had so much integrity in life to a fault. Like, so it helped me. And actually, it didn't always help me. My mom didn't like to give up on people, and especially in relationships. And that's the part that I feel like I learned from her that was very negative for me. It's like I would continue relationships that I know were not serving me or were not healthy. So sorry, Mom, I know that's one good thing for you, but one bad thing for me. To close the section out, third down, third question. If your mom could hear any part of this conversation, is there anything you think might make her proud or might make her uncomfortable or she might not like? What do you think? It's a podcast, we pop bros, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, my mom is like, I don't know, she's the biggest supporter, man. Because if anybody knows me, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I am always doing some other shit. Fitness, music, lifestyle coach, podcast, right?
You can't get a hold of you.
Yeah. So I'm always doing a bunch of stuff. So my mom always shares everything I'm doing to people in Trinidad. Whatever it is, she believes in me. So when she said I was doing a podcast, she was like, I told you should be on TV talking already anyway. I can see you on TV talking, giving people advice. So she would be gracefully love that I'm doing this right now, because she believes in me and thinks that I should be doing this. So she's probably gonna look at this and repost this to everybody in Trinidad. So y'all better be careful on what y'all say.
Oh no, it's clip for me. It's clip.
So yeah.
What that Yankee boy say?
It's funny how we all in the diaspora in the Caribbean use the word Yankee, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, Yankee, what this?
Man, if my mom was on this podcast, honestly, I don't know. Like it's a lot of things. Like it's sometimes you feel like you know a person, but then there's more things about them that you learn. You know, like as much as I know about my mother, I actually don't know how she would be on like a social media or public setting, if that makes any sense. Now, granted, like she is a supporter of the podcast, 100%. Like she, like when I brought it up to her that I would be doing this with y'all, she's like, oh, go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
She would critique it, but she critique it out of love. That's how she's always been. She'll always give constructive criticism. She may not present it in the right way most of the time, but it comes out of a place of love. She may be like, oh, I don't agree with what you said here. Or
that's what I'm asking.
She'll be like, oh, I agree with this, but you could have presented it as this way. That's usually how she operates.
You know, that's what I want to hear too. I want a lot of the feedback from people like, hey, I don't like the way y'all said this. I think it kind of affects us this way. This is a better way to think of it.
Yes.
No, I appreciate that from your mom because she definitely would do that too.
Yes. She would 100% do that, bro.
Hope you're listening. Hi, Miss Guy. How are you? Don't kill me. You always did before she thought I got you drunk, bro. I was like, yo, that wasn't my fault. I apologize to this day as 3 years ago.
Yo, cause like that was basically like her mom mode switching.
Yo,
she was ready to kill everybody.
She was gonna
Wasn't
kill
me.
Like,
I'm shocked she didn't come after me. I'm shocked.
She was ready to.
I just want to know.
In her own words, you're her first son.
Okay.
In her own words, you're her first son.
They always think I'm the alcoholic, so that's why I'm shocked. It was like, yo, did MacKenzie get this? Did Kristian give you all this? I'm like, no, it was Elia. It was Elia.
I threw him on the bus. I didn't care, bro.
It was Elia.
It was because you keep giving me alcohol. I'm like, yo, you just turned 21, bro.
It was punching, bro.
No.
It was overproof, bro. That's not what you do. Drink straight.
Pop, folks, funny story. He turned 21 about 3 years ago. We had a family function. We all decided, hey, it's time to drink. He drank some drinks, and he drank a little too much because his uncle poured 100 proof rum into his drink. His mom killed me because she thought I did it. Yes.
She was ready to go to war.
And she would go to war.
Yeah.
But that's funny story. Yeah. For me, my mom, same as you, man. My mom, like, she even called me like 10 o'clock the other night. She's like, Jamal, I just logged on TikTok. I saw you from the podcast. Oh my God, I love the conversations you have, and this is so great. I'm glad you're finally doing this. Like, my mom has wanted me to, like, she loves that I work in community. She loves that I work in education. She wanted me to be a teacher, but I'm too ADHD to sit in the classroom. So I could never do it. But like, I've always worked around it, and she always thought this is something excellent I should be doing. And I'm not gonna lie, it meant the world to me. Like, even though I was sleeping, she called me. She was just like, yo, I really like this podcast. And like, she even was listening to it driving one time, the same clip, flipping through the same clip, driving. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna send you the full episode. She's like, yeah, I can't find it. And she just listened to the same clip over and over. Yeah, man, she's adorable, bro. But she loves it. I try to make sure the topics we discuss. I don't think everything she doesn't like a lot of my political perspectives. She doesn't always agree with it because she's also very, very religious. So I think some things might make her a bit uncomfortable, but my mom kind of trusts my moral compass. So she'd be like, I think you should probably touch on this as well too. But she would not. I don't think anything I would discuss, she'd be like, oh, downright, pot bro. So, welcome back. This is High Time. This is a break from the segment. We're gonna do a nice video by our friend. Well, not our friend.
That's what I say, our friend.
We don't know that.
I don't know him.
All right, one of the people we like to listen to for some of the content and documentation of like how men interact. It's Mr. Scott Galloway. Hope you enjoy, and we're gonna share some thoughts after. All right, y'all.
Yep.
I think the best thing you can do for boys is just treat their mother really well. They just see it. I really try to demonstrate emotion and affection around her. I defer to her judgment in front of the boys. I just try to make sure the boys know that their mother is really valuable, and they see it by the way I treat her. I think that's the best thing you can do for your boys, is just treat even if you're divorced, just be really good to the mother. Because my dad wasn't, and I think it really, quite frankly, damaged my relationship probably with women. But I think I could have been kinder to women when I was a young man. I don't think my dad was a great role model for that.
That's a deep video, man.
I don't understand how some people take him out of context so much.
That's a deep video. I ain't say it was deep. I said a deep video. But what did you say?
No. I just don't understand how sometimes people find ways to take him out of context and make him very incendiary, I should say.
What did he say that people are taking out of context?
Not quite sure, but I see a lot more content like this for him, because even what he said, which is for me a very intrinsic quality, he said, I defer judgment to their mom in front of the boys, which is always important, especially in professional spaces, when women are given a lot of respect or authority or ideas or ownership over their opinions and their ideas. People like to steal them. So the idea, he's like, listen, I would defer authority to my mom, to my wife in front of my boys, which is excellent. It's excellent. Because everyone sees them father as always the authority figure, the one who sets the rules, one you should be afraid of. Be afraid of your mom, bro. What's wrong with you?
Man. To add on to that point, I would say our family is a bit different. Because of I would say the lack of a lot of male role models, our family is structured like a matriarch, and it passed down. So it started with our great-great-grandmother being the matriarch. Then it was our grandmother's aunt. Then it was our grandmother. Our grandmother's basically currently the head of the family. So women have always been at the head of the table and authority of our family. So we coming up were already knew to respect women's opinions and all of that, because the leaders of our family were women. And it's a lot of the times where certain times as men, I think a lot of the dynamic or the relationship dynamic in the household of how your household treats women, a lot of the times is how you're gonna treat women outside of your household. And you see it a lot. A lot of young men who see women in certain levels of authority, sometimes they keep that same level of respect, or it gets flipped on its head. There's a lot of them where it gets flipped on its head. It's actually scary. Sometimes they may get into one relationship and just deem that as how all women behave, or they'll generalize. Sometimes people fall victim to how they'll generalize how all women behave because of how their mom treated them or how their sister treated them. It's certain things that you have to be careful of not to fall victim to in terms of generalizing. But I would say especially in a lot of our upbringing, women were already in the authority space. But I think for us in the future, that's one thing we have to be mindful of, is how do we translate that message? Because that message is already there for us. How do we as men translate that message in the future?
Oh, I got you.
I really like how he broke down that video, because the first part he talked about you as a parent and the power you have in making sure that your partner is seen in a greater light, regardless if y'all are together or not.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think when we pay attention to a lot of our relationships and just relationships in general, a lot of times it's usually because either one person is absent in the household, or things were great and then divorce happened, and then it started muddying up a lot of stuff that happened with the kids. So him understanding how a lot of these things impact my children, and him going back into past relationships, because we talk about our father not being involved, and how that affected a lot of his experience with women. And we can sit back and say, okay, just because we had our experiences with our dads, that don't mean that we can't change it and be good fathers in our children's lives. So I always think about someone like LeBron James always talked about that a lot, where he talked about, how absent his dad was, and that made him want to be so present in his children's lives. And that's something I really think about, living through that experience and seeing how my life could have been a little bit different with a little bit more guidance with father figures or dads. And so I'm going to make sure that I fill that gap for my kids when I'm growing up, and how that may have affected some of my relationships growing up, and unpacking that and learning from those experiences. So I like that video a lot. I don't know what people be talking about when they don't like what the guy says. Listen, that's your personal opinion and it's cool, whatever, but I don't see anything wrong with that video.
I think a lot of people want everyone to reflect a lot of their perspectives, even if they're aligned with some of their ideas. And what I mean by that is, even if you're left, they want you to be left the way they're left. Like, for example, like I've seen a lot of spaces where he would say a lot of the concepts that people want in terms of fundamental essence of how men should interact. But because he didn't say it in a way that virtue signals, or within the coded conversation of how equity looks for certain people, because I think he's an economist or a statistician. He has a very bare bones way of looking at it. But
too many big ass words, nigga. Hold on.
That is Jamal for you right
Give
there.
me 1 second. Hold on.
what?
You said statistician?
Yeah, just he just statistics and uses it how to apply in real life and sociology.
My bad.
Yeah.
Jamal, the teacher, professor, always comes out every so often in these episodes. So bear with us. You might have to pause sometime the video and go look up these words, but it's all right. We're here with you. We're gonna walk you through this experience.
Anyway, he breaks it down. That's why I like him. He's a cool professor.
All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome to the fourth quarter. This is where it's closing. Obviously, you know, it's playoff time in NBA.
Hey.
Fourth quarter counts. And for this fourth quarter, we'll be presenting you advice from us, any types of data, statistic, resources, things of that nature. So we'll start off with Kristian. Do you have anything you would like to say to the audience, any form of advice?
Yeah, I think I kind of touched on this topic a little bit throughout the episode, and I think it's something that's very important because I'm 33 and I'll be 34 in October. Damn, it's even wild saying that. I sound old, but
Unk City.
I know I'm getting close to Unk age, man. God,
No, you
damn.
are Unk.
Unk is 35.
No, you said it was 34 last year.
No, it's 30, mid 35.
You gotta move the goalposts when you want to prove a point.
It's
Come on.
35. 35. And I'm still learning and unpacking a lot of how my relationships as a kid affected a lot of the things I did, whether it was positive or negative. So what I want you to do is I want you to reflect. I want you to look back in your experience with your mother or motherly figures. And I want you to see what are some things you picked up from them? What are some things that you probably neglected from because you were scared from the experience? And I want you to sit back and actually, you know, have real conversations with your mom and like actually find out who your mom was outside of being a mother, right? So what was her experience when she was dating? What was her experience when she was going to school? What was her experience? Because that's going to help you learn a lot about other relationships outside of the family. And then it's going to confirm a lot of the stuff that you see inside of it. So have some real conversations with your mom, get to know her and understand how you may have developed some of that as you become an older adult.
And as for you, Jamal, is there anything you would like to tell the audience?
It's to expand a little more on what Kristian's touching on too, not to understand, bro. Goddamn, bro. It's to understand what conversation is. And if that is safe, if your mom is still around, I implore you to just say, I need some time. I want to sit down with you. I want to talk to you about us, our relationship, how to grow, how to get better as people. And especially for me, I know a lot of folks whose moms aren't around. One of the people that taught me to expand my relationship with my mom and to have better conversations with one of my first exes. And the story I'm gonna share with you is she's always told me a story because I had a very conflicting relationship with mom. I couldn't even converse with her. And she told me this in college. She's like, the last time I spoke to my mom, she said her mom's in the hospital, she was sick. She'd been sick for a while. And she was so frustrated on mom that she wouldn't get better. And she screamed, she got upset, she yelled, and she left. Her mom called her 4 times. And she didn't pick up. She kept getting upset, she left, and she went. Her mom passed away like a couple minutes after. Ever since then, I've tried my best to make sure I have a conversation with my mom. And I appreciate her so much for telling me that, for imploring me to have that healthy relationship. She's like, you don't know what it's like to have a mom still alive, Jamal. Do better. And I appreciate you if you listen to, because I know you're a mom too. I know you're going to be an amazing mom. I know how much you love your mom. So thank you for that lesson. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Mom, as well.
Nice.
And then what I would like to say to the audience is, especially to the audience that don't have a great relationship with their mom, and to not have a great relationship with your mom can be a very tumultuous and very traumatizing thing. And it can affect you, your relationship with others, the way how you view women, the way how you engage with people. It is a very tumultuous and traumatizing thing. And for any of you that may have had a terrible upbringing, your mother may have not been present, your mother may have been verbally abusive, physically abusive, anything like that, I please implore you to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy. Try to develop healthy relationships with women in general. Try to be more social. Reflect on yourself. How did my abuse affect my ability to socialize with others, my ability to view others in a positive light? Because I had an experience where I was working somewhere, and unfortunately, one of the heads at this facility had a terrible relationship with his mother in his upbringing. And it was so bad to the point where it affected his view of women. And you saw it in his dynamic and how he engaged with the men of the workplace and the women of the workplace. And he had one incident where like everybody looked at him crazy. But when you hear the backstory of his relationship with his mom and how verbally abusive she was to him, she was his first bully. And for that, I was just like, damn, like he needs therapy and he needs it expeditiously, because now he's somewhat kind of being not actually a bully, but like really kind of like a bully to the women of the workplace, all because one woman bullied you when you were a child, you know. And for any of you like that, please go to therapy. Get the help you need. Now it's on to our post game. This is our closing. This is like the post game interview. We don't like no practice. And this, as you can see, is our roses of appreciation. These are roses to our mothers, and we'd like to basically list a thing or things that we appreciated about our mothers. Jamal, would you like to start us off?
Love you, Mom. Appreciate you. I know you had a rough life, and I know I'm a very difficult person to love. And you're gonna say, no, I'm not. I know I am. I am a lot. And I remember one story I called you about 3 years ago. And I don't know, one of my exes was like, yo, when were you born? And I asked my mom, like, yo, when was you born? She's like, yo, you were born around 2:30 a.m. She's like, it was the simplest pregnancy I've ever had. It was just such easy to give birth to you. You've been, even like in life, you've just been such a simple child to just deal with. I'm like, yo, you beat me up. She's like, yeah, but that's different. She's like, but I don't think she understands that day changed a lot of how I even thought about my life, because she's like, you were such a simple birth, like just even like raising you was just so, and I'm like, I didn't know that, but I appreciate you, appreciate all your love, and just thank you for everything. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yes. As you know, my situation is very unique, and even though I have one rose, it's hard for me to just leave this up to one person, because I've had so many people who had to take up the slack and did such a good job helping me become the person that I am. And I want to discuss that in a way of people, whoever might be in the same situation as me, whether it was his mother, my other aunts, whether it's even like Keisha, my work mom. I've had so many strong women in my life help me so much in so many aspects. And I want to thank you, because I wouldn't be the person I am today without the experiences. In the time, it might have seemed like it was tough and I didn't understand why you were saying or doing what you did. But now as an adult, I just want to let you know I understand and I respect where you're coming from. I could be a little bit better with communication, but this episode is making me really want to reflect and really want to reach out to every mother figure in my life and just really always show appreciation and dive deeper into our relationship and learn more. So I want to appreciate all of you that have been instrumental in my life.
And then for me, I just want to show appreciation not only to my mom, but my grandmother and my aunt and my mother's numerous amount of friends that helped her raise me. Like, it's insane how many of my mom's friends like helped her out raise me. It is wild. Like I at least spent the night at least every single one of my mom's close friends' house at least twice. At least. Like that's how much of a village was around me. And I just want to show the utmost appreciation to all of them. Cause you know, I know I was the Saiyan child. I know I was the Saiyan child. I know like
pennies and stuff.
Yo, I know I was the Saiyan child. I knew I was doing a lot of wild, crazy stuff, like trying to put on a blanket, use it as a cape, jump off the bed and then fall. You know? And then like, but to put up with all of that and still believe in me, see the potential and just put your all into me, to me becoming the man that I am. Like there's nothing more I could even give in return, but just my appreciation. And I appreciate you, Mom, especially Grandma, Auntie Rita, and all of my mom's friends, her cousins, everybody. And I love you all. Thank you.
Yes.
This has been the Wellness Playbook. Happy Mother's Day to you all. From us to you. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.